women.
I did try and she was married.
Hillary Clinton calling his comments horrific, and high-ranking members of his own party condemning him. And overnight, a rare Trump apology.
I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize.
With the next presidential debate coming tomorrow night, can Trump come back from this? We have team coverage.
Also breaking this morning, monster Hurricane Matthew working its way up the East Coast, slamming South Carolina and Georgia right now. This thing is packing dangerous winds of 100 miles an hour, tearing a path of destruction through Florida, killing several people. Catastrophic storm surge breaching dunes.
Crashing into homes, submerging streets, and flooding cities. Powerful winds uprooting trees and downing power lines, leaving more than 1 million people in the dark. And the worst of it is not over.
I cannot emphasize more life-threatening rain.
The very latest on where the monster storm is this morning and where it's headed next.
From ABC News, live in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning on a Saturday with two major breaking stories.
Yeah, as we come on the air, Hurricane Matthew is slamming Georgia and South Carolina. Rob and Ginger are on the ground along with a whole team of ABC News reporters and producers fanned out along the southeast coast.
Much more on that coming up. We're going to start here with the breaking news in the race for president. Overnight, Donald Trump releasing this video statement in which he offers a rare apology for a story that is rocking his presidential campaign.
Certainly is. And here's the source of this new controversy, this recently unearthed videotape from 2005. It was shot by the entertainment show Access Hollywood. Now, on this particular tape, Trump can be overheard making extremely lewd comments about women.
Yeah, with the second presidential debate coming up tomorrow night, some in Trump's own party are now turning against him. We've got team coverage of this story this morning. Matt Dowd and Koki Roberts are standing by, but we're going to kick it all off here with ABC's Tom Yamas outside the Trump Tower in New York. Tom, good morning to you.
Dan, good morning. Here's what happened behind the scenes. Late last night, the Trump campaign huddled here at Trump Tower, trying to figure out how to deal with this controversy. They decided on a video message which Trump recorded last night and we have this morning. But the big question, will this stop the political fallout on what may be Trump's biggest controversy yet?
I said it, I was wrong, and I apologize.
Overnight, Donald Trump forced to do something he never does, apologize. The Republican nominee trying to save his campaign after this recording sent it spiraling into the gutter.
I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it.
Whoa.
I did try. She was married.
This graphic conversation recorded in 2005 and obtained by the Washington Post captures Trump and former Access Hollywood host Billy Bush in the middle of a graphic and lewd conversation.
I moved on her like a but I couldn't get there, and she was married. Then all of a sudden I see her, she's now got the big phony.
At the time, Trump was on his way to tape a soap opera cameo, carrying on with Bush before spotting soap star Ariane Zucker.
Whoa!
Yes!
Whoa!
Yes, the Donald is good!
Whoa!
Oh, my man!
As Trump prepares to meet the actress, he boasts about his status as a celebrity, giving him a free pass to grope women.
I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the you can do anything.
The billionaire finally emerges from the bus acting like a gentleman.
Hello,
all
how
business.
Hi.
Mr. Trump, how
nice
are
seeing
you?
you. Terrific.
Pleasure to meet you.
Terrific.
His own running mate, Mike Pence, silent when grilled by one of our campaign reporters on the trail. Billy Bush telling Politico he's embarrassed and ashamed about what's on the tapes and acted foolishly in playing along. Trump took to Facebook, offering up that rare apology, but downplaying its significance in the race for president.
I've never said I'm a perfect person. Anyone who knows me knows these words don't reflect who I am. Let's be honest, we're living in the real world. This is nothing more than a distraction from the important issues we're facing today.
Hillary Clinton described the graphic moment as horrific and unpresidential, and Trump acknowledging this is far from over.
We will discuss this more in the coming days. See you at the debate on Sunday.
All right, back now with Tom at Trump Tower. Tom, as you reported, Trump issued that video apology overnight, which is pretty rare. But in his statement, he quickly pivots to attacking Bill and Hillary Clinton and their treatment of women.
Dan, no doubt the counteroffensive is already underway, and essentially what Donald Trump is doing by mentioning Bill Clinton in both that statement and in his video message last night, he's really telling Hillary Clinton something. He's telling her that if this comes up in the debate and you bring it up, I'm going to bring up your husband's past infidelities. No doubt this will be a huge topic at Sunday's debate, Dan.
All right, Tom Llamas, thank you. Paula, over to you.
I can only imagine a lot of people will be watching that debate on Sunday. And as Tom mentioned, many top Republicans are reacting with revulsion to Trump's comments. At least one congressman withdrawing his support for Trump completely. Others calling for Trump to drop out of the race. And ABC's Gloria Riviera is covering the backlash for us this morning. Hi, Gloria.
Hi, Paula. That's right. By now, Donald Trump is well used to criticism, even from within his own party. But his 2005 comments degrading women are eliciting a wider-reaching, more severe backlash across the GOP board. This morning, the backlash against Donald Trump is growing from top Republican leaders. Speaker Paul Ryan telling ABC News, "I am sickened by what I heard." Also rescinding an invitation to an event later today because of that taped exchange.
I did try and her. She was married.
Billy's cousin, none other than Jeb Bush, Trump's political nemesis and former presidential rival. Jeb Bush tweeting, "No apology can excuse away Donald Trump's reprehensible comments degrading women." The bombshell tapes buzzing on air and online. Fox News host Sean Hannity, a prominent Trump supporter, refusing to defend him Friday night.
You can't defend. It is wrong. It is inappropriate.
Trump's support from the GOP's top brass has survived previous controversy over his comments about women.
She had a little problem during the middle where she gained a little weight.
I don't think so.
But this morning, party leaders from Mitch McConnell to Mitt Romney calling Trump's statements in that decade-old tape indefensible, unacceptable, inappropriate, vulgar, offensive, and vile. One of Congress's top Republican representatives, Jason Chaffetz, says he can no longer support Donald Trump.
I cannot offer an endorsement for whatever that means of Donald Trump.
So far, the vast majority of Republicans are stopping short of calling for Trump to withdraw from the race, and he does have his supporters. Washington State Republican Chairwoman Susan Hutchinson saying when Trump made those comments in 2005, he was, and this is a quote, channeling Bill Clinton at the time. She argues that gives Hillary Clinton no ground to go after Trump on this now.
She points out he was a Democrat at that time.
Yes.
Gloria, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Gloria. And for more on this breaking political story, we want to bring in ABC News political analyst Matthew Dowd, and also from Washington, ABC News political commentator Cokie Roberts. Cokie, good morning to you. And I want to start with you. When you heard this, what was your immediate reaction? And then you saw that apology. Did it cut it for you?
It was a total disbelief. I mean, not disbelief that Donald Trump could say such a thing, but disbelief that it was out there and that we could actually hear his voice saying these things. And of course, the apology doesn't do it. You know, he says we live in the real world. The real world these days is a world where sexual assault is really taken seriously on college campuses, in workplaces. This is a different world from 2005 or from 1992. And I think that he is going to find that somewhat shocking to him.
Matt, is there any way he can recover from this? Have you ever seen a candidate come back from something like this?
Well, I'm going to follow up with something what Cokie said, which is that apology is not going to be enough because I've seen more authenticity in hostage videos released in that apology. So I think he's going to have to do something much more in this. This is, if you look at things in a political campaign, and I've been through a lot of them, at a level of DEFCON 5 to DEFCON 1, this is Cuban Missile Crisis territory. This is almost as if you cannot survive, completely not survive. I think he has to figure out something to say today. He has to figure out something he's going to have to say at that debate in front of 80 or 90 million people in the course of this. And so I think it's a very problematic, probably the worst thing his campaign has ever suffered, and you can tell by their reaction.
Yeah, you don't think there's really a way to get out of it to spin this, Cokie. So I want to bring it back to you. You know, members of the GOP are unendorsing him, but some even saying that he needs to get out of the race. Could that even happen feasibly at this point? We're 31 days until Election Day.
Well, obviously it's very difficult. I think more telling is the members of the GOP who are not telling him to get out and not saying that they're not endorsing him. I mean, over and over and over, people like Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell have had to say, I disassociate myself. I'm, you know, yesterday I'm sickened, all of that. And still they back him. At some point, they have to look in the mirror and say, can I keep doing this?
And Koki, I want to go back to, you know, it seems like Trump is really kind of like threatening Hillary that, okay,
right.
If you want to go there, I'm going to pivot to Bill Clinton. What would you tell him? How would you advise him on that?
Well, first of all, you should remember that Bill Clinton was impeached over this. But secondly, what happens if tomorrow night a woman in the audience, because it's a town hall meeting, stands up and says, I have daughters, Mr. Trump, and I don't want anyone talking like that about them and looking at them like that? What happens when that woman stands up?
I think it's going to be a tough moment, no question about it. Matt, let me just change the subject slightly, because on any other morning, we'd be leading with a story that broke overnight about Hillary Clinton, these leaked excerpts of highly paid speeches she gave to elite Wall Street firms, where we now know, apparently, she praised free trade, something she's been a little bit more ginger about in public during this campaign, and even admitted that her personal wealth leaves her, quote, kind of far removed from the struggles of the middle class. How problematic is this new stuff for her?
Well, as we've seen throughout this campaign, every time you think that Hillary Clinton is going to be very vulnerable, and these speech excerpts and many of the other emails that have come out make her very vulnerable, but Donald Trump steps right in the middle of it and takes it away from her. I think this will come up at the debate. Donald Trump will either bring it up, or somebody else, one of the moderators, will bring it up, or one of the questioners will bring it up. She's going to have to handle it. But when you look at this massive thing that's going on in the last 24 hours, we are getting lost. This is getting totally lost. We're not going to be talking about this for the next 24 hours leading up to the debate. She's flawed. It's a problem. But when you compare it to what Donald Trump's going to, there's no comparison on what there's no Democrats out there saying she needs to get out of the race. Republicans are.
Matthew Dowd and Koki Roberts, we thank both of you for your analysis on this Saturday morning. Koki, thanks again. As we mentioned, the second presidential debate is coming up tomorrow night. It will be co-moderated by our own Martha Raddatz, and you can watch it all right here on ABC. Our chief anchor, George Stephanopoulos, will be anchoring our live coverage with our whole political team, and that includes both Koki and Matt, and that starts at 9 Eastern.
Thanks, Danny. We got to move now to our other big breaking story this morning. We're talking about Hurricane Matthew, which is crashing into the southeast right now, bringing wind, rain, and storm surge to the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. Now, it already left a swath of destruction further south, down in Florida. More than 1 million homes without power overnight in that state. Those outages now stretching north into the Carolinas. And meteorologist Rob Marciano is in Charleston for us this morning, which is seeing Matthew's impact right now. Rob, good morning.
Hi, Paula. The eye wall is getting very, very close to Charleston as we speak. We are on the corner of Market and Meeting Street, quintessential historic downtown. And you can see the palm trees, the palmetto trees behind me flapping into the breeze. This is one of the higher points in the city. And we are at low tide now, thankfully. Right now, relatively dry. But some of the other spots closer to the water, check out this video shot just a few hours ago when the tide was at its third highest on record. Incredible stuff. And we've got another high tide cycle to go. Winds have been gusting up and down the coast over 80 and in some cases 90 miles an hour. Take a look at the radar and we'll show you where the center of this is. Just 30 miles to our south is the eye center of Hurricane Matthew, a Category 2 storm with sustained winds of 105 miles an hour, a huge rain shield to the north and west. Flooding rains with this, already reports of over a foot of rain in some spots, and we'll look for more rain to come. The track is going to come dangerously close to us, if not come on shore. We have hurricane warnings that are posted to Wilmington. So this will get part of North Carolina as well before it exits out. The track showing just that. And then the loop around, well, hopefully that's not going to happen. Then we have more confidence on that this morning. This hit Savannah first, and just in Tybee Island, over 90-mile-an-hour wind gusts there. Steve Osunsami rode it out and is there live for us in Savannah, Georgia. Hello, Steve.
Good morning to you, Rob. It was a difficult night for families here. You could hear the roar of the storm. It was rain, 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 then wind, wind, wind. It felt like a spaceship was landing. We're seeing wind reports on Tybee Island, as you mentioned, up to 93 miles an hour gusts. Also, near record rainfall, near 17 inches of rain over the past few days. Also, something else that happened last night, the tidal surge that we saw last night, near record tidal surge as well. Worried about those folks on Tybee Island. We saw about 100 people who were still out there choosing to ignore orders to evacuate. That road that leads into Tybee Island, US 80, is underwater. And there are going to be many roads that are underwater that we're going to find soon as light breaks. Rob?
Yeah. I'll pick it up from here. Steve, thank you, and please stay safe, your crew as well. Let's go to Florida now, where the northeast coast has not seen a storm like this in decades. The storm surged more than 4 feet, breaching dunes and flooding city streets from St. Augustine to Jacksonville. It could take days, maybe weeks to recover from this, and ABC's Eva Pilgrim is right there in St. Augustine with the latest. Eva, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. The National Guard, as you can see, blocking bridges to several of the barrier islands this morning. This is search and recovery efforts are underway. Many people still can't go home. We're told it's not safe. That's because power lines are down, and in some places, the water is still up. Hurricane Matthew tearing through Georgia and slamming the South Carolina coastline. The monster storm now barreling along the coast.
You cannot stand in one place.
Leaving behind a trail of destruction.
Sound like a train hitting the house. That's all I can say. The wind was just so strong.
The hurricane killing 6 overnight in Florida. The storm surge sending floodwaters flowing through St. Augustine. Vehicles submerged. Visitors stranded at this bed and breakfast, forced to wait out the deadly downpour.
How many kids are in there?
The damage left by Matthew, catastrophic. Watch this wall of water blast right through the dunes, rushing into the city streets. In his aftermath, swallowing whole roads. Debris piling up. These trees folded over while rooftops and stoplights litter city streets. Residents now assess the damage. Hope Allen says she and her husband were forced to evacuate twice.
I don't know what's going on at my house. I have no idea if I have a home to go.
This morning, over 1 million Floridians still left in the dark. No power here. You can see they used glow sticks to light the way. More than 6,000 National Guardsmen and women in the coastal flood zones assisting with relief efforts. Authorities still urging residents to continue riding out the storm.
If they tell you to evacuate, you need to get out of there and move to higher ground.
Now, we did talk to one man who was able to cross this bridge last night. He told us that he swam to his house, and even late last night, the water was still at chest height. Paula?
People have already such extraordinary stories. Eva, thank you. And we want to go back to Rob in Charleston for more on the storm's track. Hi, Rob.
Hi, Paula. Boy, this storm has just broken all sorts of records, and incredible to be an October storm like this. Let's take you hour by hour through the track. If you live in the storm zone and you haven't evacuated, obviously do not go outside if at all possible. We're looking at the center of this thing potentially clipping Charleston before the next couple of hours are up, and then by 2 p.m. it gets to Myrtle Beach. That's when you'll feel the brunt of it. Wilmington, North Carolina as well, and then some of the Outer Banks. Again, the heaviest rains are to the north and west of the center of this, and big-time waves and wind piling up storm surge, and some of this rain will get up even into New Jersey. So we've seen a record surge in Savannah. We've seen the third highest surge here in Charleston. A 5 to 7 foot surge at its peak will push that water up the rivers. I mean, in some cases, miles inland. And then on top of that, you've got a foot of rain, so you've got that water that wants to drain out. So it is a battle of outflowing water and inflowing water. And of course, the wind here as historic Hurricane Matthew continues to churn up the southwest coast. That's a quick check on the big weather headline. Here now is your local forecast.
Well, our next chance for wet weather coming in for today. Mostly cloudy skies and periods of rain picking up into this afternoon. Daytime high in the upper 60s. So if you do have any Saturday plans, make sure you grab the jacket and also the umbrella. Definitely going to be coming in handy throughout tonight. Also, if you're heading to the Nationals game taking on the Dodgers, temperature-wise will stay in the mid to upper 60s. Cloud cover and showers. A rain delay could be possible. Meanwhile, we continue to watch Hurricane Matthew.
Still hard to get your head around what this storm has done across the Caribbean, across Haiti, across the Bahamas, and across Florida all day yesterday, and now the Carolinas and Georgia. Paula, just an incredible scene to see this city so empty, and to see this sort of wind and water come through it is just a surreal event. And of course, we'll be here all morning and report throughout the day on ABC.
Yeah, it's been a monster, as you said, Robin. We'll be back to you later in the show. We do want to go now to Florida, south of where you are, Rob, to Ginger Z, who's in Melbourne. Ginger, what does it look like there now that the storm has passed?
It is shaping up to be a gorgeous